Now we've got two panels here on the edit page, the engine panel and sound panel, and here I want to focus on the engine. So there's three types of sampling engines. Here we're in classic mode, which is the first one, and this is real old school polyphonic synth style, and it's the same as Kontact's original sample engine. And here it can't be synchronized with the tempo, so you see here that the sync button is grayed out. And here I've got the second part of the sample that we were using in the last video triggered.
Foreign import.
So here we have a reverse button.
Oh, wait, Nero.
We can play it in reverse. And we can also use different styles to degrade the samples based on these vintage sampler types. Now this is a pretty clean sample, so it might not be that apparent, but this is clean.
Foreign import.
S1200 style.
Foreign import.
MP60.
Foreign import. Oh, wait, Nero. Oh, wait, Nero.
So depending on the samples you're using, you might want to get an old school vibe by degrading the quality a little bit like that. Now we have the Melody engine next, and this is based on Kontact's Time Machine Pro engine. And it's great for high quality, real-time time stretching of the sample without affecting the pitch. So by default, we have this, I'll take reverse off, we have this regular mode. And if we're in single,
Foreign import. Foreign import. Foreign import. Foreign import. Foreign import. Foreign import.
So it's good quality transposition. And we have this HQ button, which enables formant shifting. So here I've got it tuned to the root note.
Foreign import.
And this is at 100%, but I can use the shift to shift the formants.
Foreign import.
Foreign import. Foreign import.
Foreign import.
And then the envelope order sets the order of the spectral envelopes. Again, it's just to tweak the formant transposition.
Foreign import. Foreign import.
Now, generally, if the audio that we're using is high-pitched, you want to lower this value, and if it's low-pitched audio like this, you want to raise it.
Foreign
import. Foreign import. Foreign import. Foreign import. Foreign import.
So you can really tweak the quality of the formant shifting that you're getting with that. Now we have the Beats engine next, and that's based on Kontact's Beat Machine engine. And it's great for automatic slicing of your sample for tempo sync playback, and it's great for rhythmic material like drum loops. And here we have slice attack and slice release for the crossfade envelope. So when these slices are being blended together, you might get a little click.
Foreign import.
Like you can hear there.
Foreign import.
And you can smooth that out by adjusting the attack time of the crossfade envelope and the release time.
Foreign import.
That's much smoother.
Foreign import.
You get a nice creative, almost vibrato-like effect there.
Foreign import. Foreign import.
And clicks there.
Foreign import.
So it's got creative as well as corrective uses. Now we have the tempo section over here, and the BPM control is kind of like a backup in case the tempo algorithm doesn't automatically get the right result. So you can move this manually, and you can use shift if you want to get fine increments. And I'm just going to double click and type in 130 to go back to our original. And the speed control allows us to play at halftime or double time. And it's only available in the Beats engine and the Melody engine in classic mode. There's no speed control. It's just based on the tempo that we set there. Now in the tuning control, the tonality again acts as a kind of backup in case the algorithm doesn't get it right. So we can adjust it manually here. And when global is on, the sample is transposed to match the global tonality value that's set in the keyboard section. So for example, if I set this to B, we'll see a little indicator here saying that it's going to be 3 semitones lower than what's set here.
Foreign import.
And I'll just put it back to the root. Now when we're in single mode, this becomes a control to set the root key. So it's transposed across the keyboard.
Foreign
import.
And I can set the root note. Let's say I want to hit C over there, and I want that to be the root of it. I can either use the stepper buttons or just drag down and set it from here.
Foreign import. Foreign
import.
And then again, we have the tuning control. And just a little tip, if you want to create harmonies using single mode, you're best using Melody with the great time, pitch, compression, and expansion.
Foreign import. Foreign import. Foreign import.
Because if you're in classic, they'll play back at different speeds.
Foreign import. Foreign import. Foreign import.
I'll just go back to Melody mode. Now we have a playback section here. So when loop is off, we can Either have hold, which is the default, meaning the note will only sound as long as you keep your finger down, or one shot, meaning as soon as you trigger it, it'll play the whole sample. So for example, in hold mode,
boring, boring, boring,
and we hear a bit of a release there based on the envelope, which we'll get to in the next video.
boring,
But if I'm in one shot and I do a short note like that,
boring import.
it'll still play through till the end of the sample. Now we have choke groups, and that's only available in group mode, and this is what we commonly refer to as hi-hat mode. So you assign multiple notes to the same group, and then when you hit one note and then hit another note in the same group, it'll cut off the first one so they both won't sound together. And we have up to 4 choke groups available. Now we also have legato mode, and this is only available in the Melody Engine. And when it's on, if a previous sample is still playing, when you trigger a new note, the playback won't start from the sample's start marker, but instead it'll follow the play position of the previous sample. So obviously this is dependent on having multiple notes loaded into the different slots over here. And then of course we have the loop mode, which we looked at, and we have loop markers we can set based on the grid. And we also have latch. So here it'll loop as long as I hold it down. And again, I've got a little drum loop going on here.
Pouring in, pouring in, pouring in, pouring in.
Now in latch mode, I don't need to hold my finger down on the key.
Pouring in, pouring in, pouring in.
And I just press the key again to stop playback. We'll continue with more in the next video.